government of Liberia is requested to take immediate steps to remedy this precarious situation. The protection of the former vice president is a responsibility of the current government. It is very irresponsible for the government to turn a blind eye to this situation. It has also come to the attention of the CDC that the government of Liberia has fraudulently procured 285 yellow machines. The most laughable story in the country. But I see even United Party folks are dramatizing on social media, dramatizing the procurement of 285 yellow machines. Information gathered speaks to an apparent asset swapping involving some natural resources of the country. If the information is correct, it marks a dangerous bravado. The government is trying to leverage the natural resources of the country. We demand full accountability and transparency in this matter, and the CDC is activating the necessary mechanisms to ensure the protection of the natural resources of the country. While we welcome initiatives here towards the development of the country, such must be within the confines of the law and the national interest. The United Party government has launched a series of attacks on the rule of law by disregarding and disrespecting the Supreme Court ruling and taking arbitrary actions against tenure officials in the government. The United Party government has also failed to prosecute alleged murderers of peaceful citizens in Lufa, Nimba, and Monserrado County. We demand immediate prosecution of these alleged murderers who are roaming free, while the victim families continue to live in agony. As a matter of fact, we'll be sending a letter to the Attorney General and Justice Minister of the Republic demanding the prosecution of these people who were involved in the killings of peaceful citizens on the guise of electioneering. We also categorically reject the bogus police investigative report of the murder of peaceful protesters in Kingjor, Grand County. We demand a full independent investigation. The police cannot conduct an investigation that tries to exonerate itself. We also, in the stronger term, condemn the kidnapping at the airport of a Liberian blogger, Liberia National Police. Yes. Vazo was kidnapped at the airport upon his arrival in the country without charge. We were here for many days while the government went around looking for complainants. Such actions are reckless, they are counterproductive, anti-peace, they are a threat to the peace and security of the country. Because if we begin to start marshalling men and women to begin to demand justice, we will be misrepresented and misinterpreted. And so it is in the interest of the government, in the interest of peace, for the government to desist from witch hunting, targeting, and some of the reckless behavior. As you are aware, recently, the police inspector general was daring people, daring Liberians that they cannot go into the street to protest. And then Liberians, we as a party at this stage, we have not reached the point where we're going to be engaging in protest. But what we will do is defend the right of any Liberian. And I want to repeat myself. The CDC at this stage has not made a decision to engage in the organization of any protest. But the CDC as a party will support the right of all Liberians at any time, anywhere, who decide to protest will defend their rights.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because the right to protest is a constitutionally guaranteed right in the Liberian Constitution. That's why you saw for 6 years.
Yes.
People were protesting in this country. The police were instructed. When you saw water and food from the police, it was not by accident. It was a deliberate national policy decision of the government to provide them water and food. Because the CDC as a party in opposition was a victim of police brutality. This headquarters was invaded on November 7, 2011. People were killed. Jefferson Tamakoji, who sits here today, were arrested multiple times. Almost 10 times he was tortured under the Unity Party government. He was tortured severally. It's the same government that has come to power. And let the government be warned that pre-2018 activities will not be tolerated. Let the government be warned that the CDC is not silent in cowardice. No. The CDC is providing you an opportunity to drown yourself.
Thank you.
That will be part of the narrative that will say, oh, the people left power and they were trying to disrupt the peace. Like I said, if we want to be disruptive of the peace that we built, we have contested the election result, we have gone to court. And then I'm sure by then God Naked and all have been activated to bring terror on the country. But we opted not to do that. Opted not to do that. Opted not to do that. We opted not to go for the ugly parts of the country because for us, power is not the ultimate. The safety, the happiness of Liberian people is more important. Because we are aware that people in Liberia live day by day. Day by day. Because we are the owners of the country. Because we grew up in poverty. I know. I live day by day. My family lived day by day in the 80s, in the 90s. We went and fetched chicken green. And any disruption in the fetching of chicken green meant we will not have food on our day. So it is against that backdrop I would think. So it's not the government we are looking at. No. When you see the CDC, it's calm and peaceful. It's not the government. We are looking at the ordinary people.
God
It's not
bless
the government. The government is just a beneficiary of our strategic analysis that the country deserves the peace and tranquility. But we do not want excuses. But we are indeed coming back to power because already in 5 months. In 5 months, you can already see the difference between the CDC government and the Unity Party government. Before, maybe people didn't understand the difference between the CDC and the Unity Party. The Unity Party used lies, propaganda. They said we don't have a strong propaganda, and I agree. I do agree. The CDC, as a government field, we make sure we have propaganda. But when you use propaganda to come to power, you not use propaganda to lead. Because the real issues will confront you. The real issues will confront you. You have to solve real problems. You're not going to use propaganda to govern. No. You have to solve real issues. You have to confront the importers. You have to deal with them. Under our regime, President Weah, being a son of Gibraltar, instructed the government to pay subsidy to keep the rice price down.
So true.
President Weah, when U.S. students were demonstrating, President Weah instructed the government to declare free tuition. People thought it was a joke. People thought it was a bluff. No, not a bluff. Before we left office, the enrollment at the U.S. more than doubled as a result of free tuition. More than doubled. The payroll of the university went to 3.4 million per month. Because the free education, the free tuition scheme multiply the number of students that will be enrolling. And when the number of students enrolling multiply, more sections are to be created. When more sections are created, the university will have to hire more professors who have to teach for longer hours. So these decisions by the CDC government were deliberate. When the CDC government took power in 2018, only 20,000 students were taking wax annually. Before we left power, 50,000 students were sitting wax. And people are trying to lie. The same lie you told when you're in opposition that we're not paying for wax. Anybody who did wire here? Wire does not credit. Wire does not do step pay. No. If you don't pay a wax fee, you will not take the test. Even before the government started paying. So you should ask them. If somebody says, oh, the government owing wire, the government didn't pay. You know about the government coming pay. It's a blatant false, it's a blatant lie. Because wire does not credit. Go to wire office. You don't pay. If the government didn't pay, the student will not take the test. So what they are alluding to, in fact, we reduce the government, the country's area to wire. But before we left office, we pay around 700,000 against. And every year, yearly every year, that will be paid by the government of Liberia that has not been paid for almost 30 years. We pay almost 700,000 against that to reduce the arrears. The WAS fees were current, were paid because they are prerequisite, they are precondition for the students sitting in the WAS. We challenge the government to continue these policies. The university must remain free, WAS must remain free. That will continue to subsidize rights. Because these are the things that are directly impact the people. So we challenge you to continue these policies. And attempt not to provide subsidy for the rights. You bring the right for the bring on yourself. So we're not going to interfere. We're not going to organize any protest, no. But if the people decide to protest, we'll defend their right to protest. So if there are some merchants in the government that are trying to play policy with the rights by adding a dollar or two and all that kind of thing, they must think twice. In the CDC government, we were paying importer subsidy to keep the rice price down.
Oh yes.
Like we said, the government continues the harassment of ordinary civil servants by wrongful dismissals, unwarranted transfers, intimidation. These acts of the government have the potential to create serious discord in the civil service and undermine the peace and tranquility of the country. Like I said earlier, we have also been informed that police officers recruited during the CDC regime have been targeted, harassed, suspended, and dismissed for political reasons. This is very wrong and unacceptable. The government is seriously politicizing the security services of the state. It started with the mass dismissal of EPA agents. Now, the police administration has followed suit. The Coalition for Democratic Change, CDC, also welcomes the signing of Executive Order 131 creating the Office for the War and Economic Crime Code in Liberia to address abuses and violations of human rights committed during the 14 years of civil war. We also thank the House of Representatives and the Liberian Senate for passing a resolution for the establishment of a court, the jurisdiction of prosecuting war and economic crimes. It is hoped that we can finally bring closure to the 14 years of civil crisis in Liberia. The CDC also strongly believes that even in the wake of these steps taken for the establishment of the code, the implementation of the Payroll Forum, as recommended by the TRC, is equally paramount for attaining genuine and lasting peace, reconciliation, and unity in Liberia. While applauding these monumental steps towards addressing the abuses of the past, we should not lose sight of the historical issues of exclusion, marginalization, abuse of power, and the disregard of the rule of law, which culminated in the country 14 years of evil. So do not play politics with the establishment of war and economic grounds court. But unless you are not a student of Liberian history, you will understand that abuse of power, violation of human rights, and some of the very things that are happening today are the things that precipitated the civil crisis. So it will be mere mockery and hypocrisy if you are trying to establish a court while repeating the excesses of the past, while trying to activate formal warlords to win havoc on the people. Because a civilized government, you know, even has entertained even during the campaign, you know, confess murderer. The reason why I'm using Bob Lake as an example, he's the only man who has gone on tape. And I just want to set the record straight. He's a man who, because he's already a convict, so he's a man who go on tape and confess to murders. Yeah, she's gone on tape, and that's why I'm calling murder, because we on the Liberian law, everybody is presumed innocent. Somebody go on public radio and say, "Oh, I'm a murderer. I murder a lot of people. I murder hundreds of people." Yeah, we are forgiving him as a brother, but for him to be introduced in the political theater in the 2023 election, so dangerous law, very dangerous. Dangerous desperation on the part of the Unity Party. And we are surprised international actors did not even condemn that. Because somebody who is a confessed murderer should not have been anywhere near the politics of the country. And now the party the men supporters is in power. So you can imagine what could be happening behind the scene. We are getting information that people have been trained, this and that, this and that. The government should take note. Our top propaganda agents are activated. Be keeping serious watch. We are already witnessing extrajudicial action of the government. The government is engaging in violation of rights. And it's asking people to take the people saying, "Oh, but the government, do you want to take the government to court?" That's very laughable. But the government should not be asking citizens to take it to court. But the citizens do not have the resources to go to court. The reason why people will engage in protests is because they don't have the resources to go to court. People are living day by day. And so you should not violate the rights of people and say, "Oh, the people should go to court." No. So it's just simple elementary logic. You're not demand ordinary people to say, "Oh, we violate your right to go to court." Yeah. We're already seeing mysterious killing all around the country. The police initial engagement with citizens resulted in the deaths of people in Kingjor. Something that will continue for 6 years. In 6 years, there was no death at the hands of the police. People lied on the government. They lied about others being killed. They lied and lied and lied. They lied their way to power. You cannot lie your way to govern. You are confronted with the practical challenges of governing the country. And we will stand aloof and will not give you the comfort of finding an alibi. Come on. The CDC will not be used as an alibi. Because President, we have already demonstrated that the Liberian people are far above the quest for power. And so we are all following cue. We are following His Excellency President. We are the example he has set. And that's why we'll be constructively engaged with the government. We'll keep the government feet to the fire. But will not be disruptive. The government will disrupt its own activity if it wants to. We will not be used. Will not be used. Will not be used. Should not be used. So, like we are saying, when such transgressions as flagrantly as violating Supreme Court decisions and protesters being shot by the police which is meant to protect them, harassing and removing civil servants from position without justifiable reason, and politicizing the security forces through arbitrary dismissal become commonplace. We are starkly reminded of the biases and vestiges of our difficult past that brought the country into crisis. These historical wrongs attended the Civil War, and they are sadly re-emerging, that I've already indicated, just 3 months into the regime of the Unity Party. The electoral violence of 2023, perpetrated mainly by supporters of the Unity Party, resulted in the death in Lofa, Nima, and Monserrato counties. And these deaths are not being investigated. We demand, and maybe it will do any protest now we'll be protesting for. Because people in Lofa will not die in vain. We'll be communicating formally with the Minister of Justice and Attorney General to demand prosecution of people who were, because these people were murdered on tape. These people were murdered on tape. In Lofa, people were murdered on tape. In Monserrato, they were murdered on tape. And we saw it. And the culprits, the alleged culprits and perpetrators are remain free. That is totally unacceptable, very uncivilized. It was important to give the government the opportunity, to give the government the space. But those people who died, that death will not go in vain. The perpetrators will be prosecuted, will demand the prosecution. And so if we start to do any protest, that will be protesting for. We'll be demanding the prosecution of the murderers in Lofa. We'll be demanding the prosecution of the person who killed Joshua. There was a reported death also in Lima. We'll be demanding prosecution. The government should take note. Because these people were Liberians. They had the right to political participation. So the government should because some of these people were already indicted, were charged and indicted. The government should proceed with the prosecution of these people. And we are also surprised that definite silence of our international partners. Because they are not demanding, for instance, the prosecution of people who committed murder during the election. These people must be prosecuted because these people committed these crimes on tape.
Sure.
Council of Churches should demand the prosecution of the alleged murderers who murder people in cold blood in the name of politics. No Liberian should be murdered in the name of politics. Our politics should be the that's why he says yes. The CDC did not opt to arrest opposition people. No. Not that the CDC did not have the power to arrest. No. But the CDC government thought it was uncivilized. The CDC government could not met our violence are meted against Jefferson Koji, violence are meted against Moma Molu, violence are meted against Akaras Gray. These people were arrested and tortured under the Unity Party. Tortured severally, not one time, not 2 times. And so the CDC could not come to power and begin to arrest and torture people. That would have been very contradictory, that would have been against the revolution. So do not mistake the CDC. The CDC knew exactly what it was doing. It was fighting for protesters because it realized that the Liberian Constitution guaranteed the right to peaceful assembly, the right to protest. So, to conclude, the consolidation of Liberia's democratic credential and peace is critical to the prosperity of the country and will prevent the repeat of our troubled past. Thank you.
So guys, that was the voice of CDC party chairperson for Princess Katie Kopo. So he is Honorable Janga Cole, CDC chairperson, and Princess Katie Kopo coming to your live at the CDC party headquarters.
democracy, and attracting the survival of the state and its people. So the time is yours. Now the opportunity as members of the protest to ask 3 questions. And we hope that your questions will be in the domain, the confines of what has been said and read. So please take due judicial and intellectual notes. Thank you. Yeah, please call your name and the station you represent. No, we I'm Thomas. I work for. One question, please.
Mr. Chairman, you made a statement. You said at some point in time, the CDC will not get involved in the protest. At some point in time, the CDC will get involved in the protest. Don't you see that as a total contradiction?
No, it's not a contradiction. That's a specific issue that spoke to the murder of citizens during the elections. People have been charged, and we demand the government to prosecute. I said, if the CDC will protest, I will be protesting for. So, but I'm sure the government will prosecute. We engage, we'll write an official communication to the Ministry of Justice, and we'll be demanding justice for these people who were killed. Because these people who were killed on tape. They were killed in full glare. Of the people, there are videos to these people being tortured and killed. So their death cannot go in vain. It's not going to go in vain in the name of politics, no. So the perpetrator will be prosecuted, will demand the prosecution. And I said, if we protest, that's one thing we will protest for. And I hope we will not need to protest for the government to prosecute. But the prosecution, the government should do its job. But what we say additionally, was that even though the CDC is not in the business of organizing protests, but the right to protest is the constitutional right of the Liberian people. So any people that decide to protest will defend their right to protest.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, so Francis K.D. Cooper, I report for the Liberia TV Network. I listened to your session, and then you did mention some synopsis regarding Honorable General Bob Neke with his interference into the Liberian politics in 2023. How can you reconcile this? Because in 2017, Honorable Prince Johnson also supported the CDC that led to the CDC victory.
So the General Bob Neke was not a political actor, had never been a political actor. Prince Johnson was a senator of Nimba County. So those are the differences.
But he also participated in the Liberian politics.
Prince Johnson has been accused of various crimes, but Prince Johnson has not gone on tape to confess to any crime. And so I'm speaking to Bob Neke, who has gone on tape. There are very many videos on social media. I tell you that Bob Neke is a confessed murderer. And I don't know what the TRC pardon him.
Follow up, Honorable.
The last question, yes.
I'm so concerned about the 225-year-old machine that was announced by the Minister for State Portfolio. There have been many concerns that drew the attention of the Liberians on the basis of accountability and transparency. And we see some of the law. The Labour Honorable Sir Joseph welcoming the information that and you have caucus with those within the representative in the Senate. How the party reconcile with this profound use of that? The government has a problem with accountability.
So even the CDC welcome the idea of procuring 285. In fact, we want 500. We want 500. But we're just saying, because there are laws, there are laws for public tender. There's a process. We are just asking the government to be transparent and accountable. So Sir Joseph is not wrong to want the get the machines. Even the CDC will want 500. The government should add additional, in the fact you add another 215. To make it 500, we need 500, but if you do it properly, you should not swap the resources together with the hearing. You should not say, oh, for instance, the one people. No, there are processes. You should not mortgage the resources of the country. So we're not against, no, and let it be on record. The CDC is not against, the government getting, because in fact, before we left office, we left almost 50 yellow machines. 50, the CDC government left. Yeah, and trucks. So the CDC government supposed, but that was done through a public tender, there was a contractor, it was open competitive bidding. That's what we are asking for. So we're not against yellow machines. But just don't do it shady. It shouldn't be a shady deal. No.
Yeah, so let's take the last.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Sam Andrews, host of Afternoon Show Business News on Voice of Liberia 104.1.
Oh, yes.
Though you didn't mention it in your address, but it could have come at a better time than now because you are forced, you are the best person as chairman of the party. We've been hearing over the days defections from the tripartite arrangement to a couple of individuals, though they have not been definitive as to whether they are out completely or they are still in. Would you mind telling us whether those parties are out of the Congress, the Coalition for Democratic Change, or they are staying in?
So what I can tell you is that the Coalition for Democratic Change is a coalition of independent political parties. The National Patriotic Party, the Black People Democratic Party. These parties have their own internal democratic processes. And there will be competitions in these parties, just as there are competitions in the Congress for Democratic Change. But what we can tell you is that the Coalition for Democracy remains strong. And after an electoral loss, there are a lot of variables at play, but we will, as we know now, no party has withdrawn from the coalition. The coalition remains together. The FPDP is still with us. The NPP is still with the coalition. And there are even additional 9 parties that are still with the coalition. So the coalition is strong, and we will be looking forward to seeing it. The FPDP is still with the coalition, but these parties have their internal democratic processes that will exhaust. Yes. So they have the right, just as the Congress has the right. The Congress is trying to rebrand now. There are a lot of things that we want to be doing in the community from the perspective of the Congress for Democratic Change.
So, guys, that was the voice of Honorable Jangako, former Controller General of the Republic of Liberia. I'm Francis K.D. Kopo here, coming to you live at the CDC Party headquarters. We want to say thank you for following our live broadcast.